gummies here. And today I'm gonna do some gouache art. Let me move the microphone a little bit. And well, offline I started a comic book, small comic book in gouache. I've got only a few pages here. Work in process. Actually, I'm planning 6 pages. But today I just wanna draw a little bit and relax. Hello! And wonderful, I set up my tablet so I will say chat. I have no idea where to put it, but whatever. I guess I figured something out. Something like this. Hope nothing will fall somewhere. The light is set up. Smell a little bit too bright. I need to add a little bit more blue here. There we go. Nope, it is not. It is just a tale of my character, and she actually fantasy panther, sort of that. I actually think about her as a puma, but yeah, she's got this blue fur, and actually she got wings also. Well, this page, it's not very recognizable, that's why. Could be a little bit wrong impression. It's one of the page of my small comic book, so I just wish to test how it feels to draw the comic book in with the gouache. It was one of my small dreams. So I just feel a little bit brave enough to start this. This will be very short work, 6 pages, very small, but I think that will be just enough for me to understood if I'll be able to work with this medium for comics.
Hey, sorry for the sound. I'm just working here as well.
Oh, come on, why? No, why? So sorry. Well, we're using mechanics keyboards.
It's Unicomp Model M actually. It's kind of different from traditional mechanical keyboards, but it's a really nice one. I'm really glad that I got this one.
Yeah.
It's a replica of a classic IBM keyboard. Very nice, very sturdy, and I would say quite reliable. Let me check what this is. I see. Nice, and they actually have it now in stock. Only shipping to United States. Well, congrats anyway.
Yeah, we're not in United States for that. But anyway, yeah.
Hopefully they get to worldwide shipping so we can get this. That's pretty close. Nice. But yeah.
Oh, maybe then Amazon or somewhere.
Well, I think we can get it from some resellers. I'm just looking on the official site. But yeah, having a track point is an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't really need mouse for not gaming, for anything else but gaming.
Good gift.
Yeah, when I got mine, I was not actually. I think this was not yet available. Or. Yes? I can probably spoil a little bit here. I'm working now on translating Princess Asuria's Morning. Uh, you've probably seen Sabra working on the art for the new version. The original version is just like text. We didn't have any custom uh, decorations for it because it was just a very simple, very short game, just I did as an experiment. But, well, since the players who played it were quite happy, I decided that it may be a good thing to translate it to English and as well add some like minimal graphics. Minimal graphics in Sabra's sense.
Oh, come on.
Now she pays a lot of attention to details every time and makes things look really amazing.
Yeah, and sometimes I just been told several times, please do just a sketch, please. Do it a little bit simpler. He's a programmer.
No, I don't do art. I'm not able, but yes, I'm a programmer. Sometimes I do music. You can hear, like, so far my only work in our previous game, A Dragon and the Tower, but that's basically it for now. Thank you.
Hmm. It's a little bit glossy after I put the colors, so I just wish to see what I'm doing. It will. Right now I'm drawing a little bit like blindly,
What do you mean?
вслепую.
Can you say the whole sentence?
Сейчас я рисую, ну, в полуслепую, как бы. So it's yeah, drawing a little bit blindly because I don't see much things after I put the colors. It's the surface is a little bit glossy after that.
Here's a question: is that oil paint? It's gouache.
It's a gouache, traditional gouache. There is just a lamp up here, and the paper itself is just on a flat surface, horizontal surface. So that's why it's a little bit glossy on the parts when I'm drawing. If it be under some angle,
we can add a little bit of light.
Yeah, but I need to prepare the surface, and I will do this next time. Just right now it's better just draw as it is. Yeah. Actually, that's okay. I can work. Just a little bit moments, technical issues. I'm actually thinking about how I can fix that. I'm looking for some stables like that, like big stables, but there is some issue with them. They're not very flexible. They don't have angles I need. So I really thinking about maybe I just need to make this surface be on some kind of angle. But on the other hand, there is another issue, and it's about my hand, because this angle for my hand is perfect. I just don't feel any problems or any struggles. But unfortunately, when my hand is like this, it's just reminding, well, the old pain could come back in the wrist. So I don't think actually that I need to change anything.
You can probably sit a little bit higher. You can raise your chair.
I guess it's maximum or not. Yeah, it's maximum.
Oh.
Nah, don't mind. Maybe I could play with the lamp after stream. Hello, thank you for follow.
And you've reached your goal.
Yeah, Twitch. So Twitch.
It's like as good a goal as any, as any.
Mhm.
As good a goal as any.
Yep.
Такая же цель, как и любая другая.
Exactly. Okay, I think I need to change brush. I don't see much here. I definitely need a little bit more detailed, more controls over the details. It's funny, I found out that actually I using just a couple of brushes. I've got a lot of them, but basically I'm using this rage. And the other brush is just waiting their time when they need, but most of the time they just laying on the table. That's just funny. In my opinion. Maybe I need to do something with the light, I guess. But I'm not sure if it's be able to move this far. I guess not. No, it's not.
What do you want?
I want to move the lamp, but it's a bad idea because the wire is short. I think I just move this lamp like this, and that will be enough for that. I just need.
We can do it. I mean, I see the wire being caught by the leg of the table, so we can move it later, or if you need it.
Right now it's okay because light is going like this. For me, it's fine. Okay. Oh, what? Let me see the chat.
Yes, there is.
Well, let me say, I prefer digital for work when I think about the traditional art like a sort of for my spirit, for my sanity. But I really wish to have. Thank you. I really wish to use it a little bit more because I felt like I start to losing skill and it's something I really dislike. So I decide to work a little bit more traditional like I did before because it's very satisfying process. I don't have um, any interface. I don't have anything that distracts me. So I just can draw. and this is wonderful feeling. But of course, I've got a very big experience with the digital, and it's something uh, very intuitive process, and some things you do easily just because you've got a bunch of texture brushes. You know the hotkeys, you know everything you need to draw. So I'm using digital art mostly for commercial work that needs speed, that needs me to prepare art uh, for the printing and for games. But I think that traditional art can work as well for the same purpose, and I wish to make a couple of illustration in traditional media for my texts. And actually, I start one of them, but I still need to think about the choosing of media, etc. Because acrylic is not a uh, good idea at this point. Do you think it will be hard for someone who never played traditional to experience? Digital and traditional are just different media for me. So if you got basics, uh, if you got the knowledge about the drawing, it's not a big deal. Because actually, for me, traditional is much easier. It's easier to study, but it's a little bit different mindset. For example, you don't have some things like layers, undos, etc. You don't have it, but you don't need it actually. And it is a different mindset. When you're doing gouache, acrylics, etc., this is very forgetting media. You can layering things, you can cover your mistakes, and yeah, you're painting over, and it is the only way to correct things, but you can correct them. And the watercolors, it's not very forgiving. It's not very forgiving. Thank you. uh, so you need to think a little bit upwards of what you're doing, and it's a little bit different process. In gouache, you can work from dark to light, and from light to dark. It's not very much difference. Well, there is difference, but for me, not much. And in watercolor, you always need to be careful with your lights, because you can make things darker, but you cannot light them up. And so, yeah, traditional media is just different mindset and different technique. And you're supposed to care about the surface you're painting on, colors you're using, tools you're using. But be honest, you do something the same with the digital. You're preparing your own.
There is a follow-up question actually.
Uh-huh. Okay, let me see. Don't know why my digital anyway, but I would be scared about technical or traditional destroying canvas messing with the paint. Yes, I can understand that. That's why I'm saying about forgiving media. You know, here works the rule uh, paint as more as possible. After some time, you just don't very care about your mistakes. And actually, it also works with a limited time for drawing. We do a lot of we do some sketching sessions with a limited time, so we just don't have time to worry and to care about how many mistakes we do. So we just uh, do another sketch, and then we've got a couple of sketches, and we look at them and see, yeah, I did mistake here, I did mistake here, but I don't care because actually it's look pretty solid. Okay, fine, I just move forward. And as I said, yeah, it's a different mindset, but it's something you can work with. Special canvas. Well, I'm working on a paper. It's let me show you this paper.
No, where do you keep it when you're done?
Ah, where I keep it?
I think you just put them in folders, right?
If it's small paper, small canvas, you can, well, yeah, you can keep it in some kind of folders. I using simple office folders with a transparent, uh, как называется, как
I
называется?
think they're just called files.
Files in, yeah, in transparent files. But I'm working mostly with the A4, and only sometimes I do A3 format. Mostly they are small.
Yes, they are sensitive to light depending on which paint you use. Probably you want to keep them, yes, away from light anyway.
Yes, yes. Some professional colors got protection from the light.
You can probably show this mark.
Well, this actually, I'm using this gouache, and this got pretty good protection. It's a professional.
I mean, can you show the mark how to how to see how to denote this more or less sensitive?
Most of the time, colors have got these signs. Sometimes it's pluses, sometimes it's stars, sometimes it's dots, but they've got different count, different количество, quantity, different
number of them.
different number of them, and this mostly shows how light
Sensitive or light protected. Well, light protected.
light fast it's called actually. Light fast it's called actually. Yeah. For this mark, it's 3 stars, 3 pluses. It's maximum. But for some types of colors, it's could be 5, could be 10. It depends on what kind of color you're using. Well, look.
That depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, it depends on a lot of things. Because in traditional art, you buy the materials, brushes mostly for gouache, and watercolors you buy once for many years. Watercolors you buying, well, time to time, but mostly you're using them slowly. Gouache, well, you're using them more, well, faster, If it's acrylics, it will run out very fast. Cause it's a different types of так расходы.
Different types of usage, I guess, in
Fu-
this case.
Yes. And there is moment that watercolors and gouache are water soluble, so you can reuse them. I can leave this palette just like this and reuse it later. You cannot do the same thing with acrylics unless you use water palette, wet palette, but wet palette. So yeah, they've got their cost, and you pay time to time, sometimes when you need it. But let us see what happened in digital. You need to buy the computer, pretty top one, because software, uh, well, it needs some resources, especially for media. And well, you need to buy a graphic tablet.
I would say it's a cheaper than computer, but yeah, it's. I mean, what depends. I think
Look,
you can get a reasonable machine in on which you can use for like making graphics nowadays quite cheaply, even with all the crisis happening. You can just get a good used computer and it will be fine. Like 3, 5 years ago, like from some businesses typically sell old machines, and this is generally fine.
You'll be surprised. Not everyone got a computer. Some people
PC is
got.
a basic human right, so everyone has it.
Some
Yes.
people have only mobile phone, and I was surprised about that. They've got mobile phone but
Yes.
don't have a computer. I don't know how they're functioning.
Yes, I would say a PC is a necessity. I'm not sure. Yeah. Technically, I would say yes, it's a right, but it's more of a necessity than a right in terms that you need to have it if you want to live comfortably in modern world, rather than you want to have it
Yeah.
to live comfortably.
Well, I can't say that iPad is a good option, but some people use it. The biggest problem here that you not owning the original file. You can make the export this file, but you not own the basic file with the layers. It's not very not very good thing.
You can actually get a decent computer, I think, cheaper than iPad.
Yeah.
As I said, you can just look for used machines from businesses. Typically, at least in Europe, at least here in Finland, there are quite a number of shops that do this, and they typically sell like. And these machines nowadays, with really slow hardware progress, they're really decent.
And actually, for just do art, you actually need just paper and pencil, or a pen.
If you're
It's more
afraid
than enough.
of messing up your room, you should use gouache. Don't
Oh,
not
come
acrylic.
on! Oh, come on! Am I miss anything here?
You're you are experienced with this. No, well, I mean, gouache is pretty easy to get, like, to wash away if it gets somewhere.
As I said, you for the start you can just use pen or pen or pencil and the paper, and that's it actually. And it's more than enough for the start. like something like this. It's more than enough to start to draw actually. And typical office paper is also enough for this. And well, yeah, small canvases is a good choice. Especially if you don't have much mm, possibilities. I just choosing the small format because I wish to. Uh, I think it's just enough for my purposes. That's why I'm using this small format.
So A4 is small format.
Look,
I've seen people painting like really huge stuff.
when I was studied in university, we were painting 55 on 75 centimeters canvases.
Yeah, so the same question the person has.
Be careful. Yeah, for me it's a small format. Well, half of it, it's also fine. A5 format or A6 is also fine.
I think A4 is the most standard, at least that's what we were using in school. So
Yeah,
I
also.
don't see of it as small or large. I see it like the default.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Actually, I start worrying about this a little bit when I'm scanning my artworks. But it's not a big deal. In traditional art, you actually know that if you need a 5 format, you just can draw on A4 format, and this will be totally fine. So double size helps a lot. Actually, the same things you do with the digital art. So it's not very big deal. Oh yeah, my bot wake up. Alright. Nobody wait for it, nobody asked for it, but it happened.
Formatting is something weird.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything with that, unfortunately. I've got only one line, and I'm supposed to put everything in one line. I think I need to just remove this text and change on something simpler. Looks like I'm almost run out from with my ultramarine, but I'm too lazy to fill mm, this little thing. I don't remember how it calls. Not a tube. I don't remember how it goes. По-русски это называется кюветы, но как они называются
I
по-английски?
think it's also cuvette.
No.
That's what I see.
You think?
See, well, yes, cuvette is something similar, like shallow dish for holding liquids.
Oh my
essentially.
god. It's a long one. Yes, I'm signing it, but I'm doing it later. Most of the time, I'm drawing the page without signing, but then in digital, I put it on some background, and of course, I have some uh, blacks spaces. It could be up or down on the page, and
Margins,
I
you
use
mean?
margins, yeah, and I use it for signing. I actually doing this in Live Right Now, my main comic, and I using the same technique with my zines. Because I don't know where I'm gonna use that. In if I'm doing comic for anthology, where other artists will be, there are some rules how it's supposed to be signed. Is any pages is necessary to put on the pages or not? So yeah, I'm trying to not to put this information on the pages until I move to digital. Well, illustration is something you need to sign. It's just basic thing. Some artists also put the dates. I also doing that, but some artists don't. I'm doing that because I just simply forgetting about when this or other artworks, this or other artwork was done. I just don't remember things. why I'm putting dates. Yeah, but you know, um, if we're looking at the DeviantArt, then it's not protecting anything. It's just saying, hey, we're protecting your work for some weeks, and they said, hey, you don't want to pay us, so you know what? We will use your work for training some things you don't like, but we don't care. So I'm not trusting the websites.
Well, there is a rule. Once it's in the open, it's in the open.
Yep.
There is always an option to just make a screenshot, so I guess you should not worry about this too much, and also I don't think it happens that much often.
It's more about the people who, you know, using your art against you. They think you are just to say, hey, it's not you who done it, it's me who've done it. There is some people like this. Strange one. Luckily not everyone doing this. But it could be a headache.
At least I think it's pretty rare. At least it's not like getting out of the. At least I've never heard this outside like the artistic community, so probably it's not often happening.
Yeah, it's not very.
So I would not worry. I mean, there is always an option.
We're just nervous types.
There are bad actors. That's the thing, and yeah.
And yeah, it's about who posted first. Who wake up in the morning first. Those wearing the bass. Как тапки. Как тапки по-английски. Толстовые тапки. Как это?
Just a second. I think there should be an English saying about that. Early bird catches the fish or something like this.
Yeah. Early birds.
Catches the something, but I don't remember what it catches.
Nah. Вот интересно, откуда вообще это пошло, кто первый сталтовые тапки? Это что, из общежития?
I think it's, well, catches the worm, actually.
Catches the worm. Oh.
Yes.
Well, this makes sense.
Well, it's a very interesting topic on how sayings are, like, different depending on which, like, what were the traditions, the behavior of people in a specific place. Basically, that's why there are typically very different sayings or proverbs about like the same things.
We just remembered about the phrase. You know, there is a phrase that early bird.
The early bird catches the worm.
Catches
in
the
English
worm.
is this.
Yeah.
And in Russian it is кто раньше встал, того и тапки. So
who wakes
up early, he gets the slippers.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that how the same thing but very different wording. But yeah, that's how idioms work.
Yeah. And I just wonder where it came from. Maybe it just from общежитие.
Dormitories.
Yeah, maybe it's from dormitories or somewhere like this.
Or maybe because slippers were very rare.
and people in the family just fight for them. Oh, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, it's from actually from poor families that didn't have enough sleepers for everyone.
Meh. As I thought.
Russia.
So sad.
Yeah, well, these ages, I guess, were pretty harsh for a lot of in a lot of places.
Yeah. Okay, let us move a little bit forward. Okay, this grass now have more depth than before. Actually, I don't want to put too much contours around. I'm so lucky me that this paper is thick. I just can do something like this and don't feel any discomfort.
There is another question. Do you need an industrial sink to clear the mixing palette? Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not cleaning my gouache palette at all. I'm reusing it a lot. This one was cleaned up just because there was another type of gouache here. So I cleaned it up a little bit and.
But I think gouache only
Just
contains
use.
typically natural materials, so
Yeah.
it should be safe to just use regular.
Yeah, and actually acrylics too, but I prefer to move acrylic into the trash.
Mm.
And if it's water with acrylic, then in the toilet, flushing in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
And the gouache acrylics is totally okay.
I think it should be fine, yes.
Yeah.
The gouache at least is definitely only like natural materials mostly.
Yeah.
And it's water soluble, so it's not a big problem.
Actually, there is no really necessity to, as I said again, to clean up your palette if it's gouache or watercolors. You just don't need that. There is no point in doing this. It's just waiting of colors. But if it's acrylics, yeah. Well, if I know, there is protection. Acrylics protection, but it's for acrylics only. For gouache, well, I'm not using anything, as well as for watercolors. And as I know, nothing actually is necessary here. The best thing you can do is just put your artwork in somewhere where there is no water. But maybe I am wrong. Maybe there is something for protecting watercolors or gouache. For acrylics, yes, you need to wait until it's fully dry, and put a couple of layers of protection fluid, and let it also dry. But you need to well, acrylic itself can dry for sometimes it's just a couple of hours, but sometimes it could take weeks. It depends on how much layers and how how thick layers you doing. And the protection layer itself, it could dry for a couple of hours. But how much time, it depends on which protector fluid you're using. Most of the time they've got the instructions on the bottle. Yeah, you need to wait until the layer is fully dry. Uh, the fluids I use, they dried for 2-3 hours. Well, it means completely dry. And after that, I'm put another layer. But as I said, it depends on what kind of fluid you got. They've got instructions on the side of the bottle. Oh no! I did something I shouldn't done here. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't care much. Uh, Fan can help, but there is a moment here. Fan is a temperature also, so you can speed up drying process of watercolors. You can, but I'm not sure if it's will what effect it could give with the protection fluid. Actually, with the traditional art, there is no need to hire. To not hire. I'm not be in a hurry. Be in a hurry. There is no need in traditional art. Be in a hurry.
Mm.
You need to take your time. Be patient. It's not something about running somewhere. That's why I said that traditional art is more for soul. At least somewhere you don't need to run somewhere. Actually, I can recommend you a media that's about the fast and hurry. Use acrylic gouache. It's drying just immediately. You won't have time to mix colors on a palette. it's it will it will dry out just almost after you put it on a palette. I'm sorry about this joke. Uh, it's just exactly what's happening. Actually, I don't know why it's dry so fast. I've got acrylic gouache for because I heard about this is that it's just like acrylics, but it's matte. It's not glossy. And I thought, hey, it must be a good variant, good alternative for acrylics. And then I discovered that it dries too fast. Yeah, you can actually see these pages are not colored yet. I do the rough sketches like this, and after that, yeah, I put colors very rough, and only after that I'm going to this kind of details. Not very big spoiler actually. As I said, it's very short comic. And I don't think for this short period of time that uh, you can recognize everything that was drawn there. My sketches are very messy. I guess only me can understand what is going on these rough sketches. You know, it's depends on how you're working. Uh, if you talking about more Disney process, traditional old school Disney, then yeah, they're using plastic layers or even glass layers for making each frame, color frame. And they also using the very expensive cameras. They got special room that each layer was placed upper uh, upper each layer, and they've got also a camera above, and this was really something. And if we are talking about a little bit more anime way, they've got a little bit different process. They, if we're speaking about nowadays traditional anime production, it's more about they are working on a computer, but not much, not everything. They draw in the paper the main animation and then scan it and put it in the computer. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It is so good that this process now can be found on YouTube, so people can see how difficult it was. But I really preferred if the Disney works the same way as old times. Nowadays, films, I don't see anything good
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it's weird that when there was so much overhead with this like technology, when you had to yes paint on glass on films and try to combine everything manually and spend a lot of time drawing each frame, they still managed to make so much detail, so much effort, and make it look so good that most modern animation doesn't even try doing.
Yeah. Uh, this. Um, ну погоди, что ли? Причем тут
Rabbit and Wolf, Russian one. Yeah, it may be.
Не, ну какое отношение ты имеешь к этому? Вот это же отдельная студия наша.
Yes, it's a different.
Московская студия делала. I think.
Wolf and Hare in Polish. Can you tell the Polish name, how it's written in Polish?
Yeah. Wolf and Hare, Wild Rabbit. Oh.
Wilk и Заяц. Let me see. Yes, it's ну погоди, yes.
Серьезно?
I think at least that's what start page gives me. Let me see. Yes, yes it is.
Вау. Круто. Че, серьезно?
Yes.
Thanks for information.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's really fun.
That's funny.
Let me see if we know.
Yeah, we know about this film. We just it's looks like we know a little about its history.
Yes, but I think it's possible to actually find some details. At least I think I've seen, but the material is mostly in Russian, I think. So
The curtain itself, yeah, we see it. Of course, it was a part of our childhood. Is a more of our generation, I guess. The whole generation and the previous generation too. Also, I guess a couple of generations before us also.
Yeah. Well, the original, I think it came in like 60s, late 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
69, end of the 69.
Yeah, and we are actually from 90s.
Yeah. Well, 60s were quite a long time ago. Do we see any?
And now I'm really interested. Really interested in how it's supposed to.
But yeah, Russian animation school is pretty interesting as well. There is a lot of very interesting animations, animation films.
Yeah, but looks like we've got a lot of to learn about its history.
Yeah, I guess it's not that high profile, so that like everyone knows how it's made and other details.
Yeah, the most interesting for me is ой, hedgehog, ежик.
Yes,
Hedgehog in the mist.
yes, Hedgehog in the Mist. We have this one. It's a very philosophical, unique animation. Actually, I don't remember what it looks like somehow.
It's the layers was made on paper and scanned
In the fog, it's actually.
in a fog.
Is it like the official name? I mean, there is an article on Wikipedia about it.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting animation also, because it's made fully in well, traditionally. Uh, it's a cut off animation, cut off and stop motion mix of this two. The parts was drawing was drawn on paper or on a plastic. I don't really remember, but all these parts was combined uh, uh, on a surface, and sometimes some parts was switched on something the same but with the other drawn angle, especially for the faces.
There is a very interesting detail about painting the main character actually. They made everything else, and the artist was like actually trying to make the how the main character should look like because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know even how to translate this. На картинках постоянно появлялись не ежики, а ежи.
Ежи.
Yes. So ежик is like little hedgehog, not just hedgehog. So and it didn't give the right feeling, and she tried like very long time to make it.
So
The artist.
she struggled with the style in it.
Yes, with styling the character.
Yeah.
That's but that's like that's how stuff gets made. Yes, you do a lot of things, you redo it like hundreds of times.
modern mushroom and the bear is something I cannot recommend to anyone, actually. Zayets? Zayets.
I think it's the same, like ну погоди, заяц, like food zаяц.
Maybe. We've got a couple of cartoons with the.
Well, we have a lot of because the hare is actually a common character in Russian folk tales. Not only in Russian, actually. I think in Europe.
Slavic.
Yes, but I think hare is a common character in general in European tales.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And we all got pretty similarities with the tales, so there is a lot of possibilities.
But yeah, hare is pretty common actually.
I just remember the tale about the hare that and the apple tree.
Mishok yablok,
Oh,
a bag
mishok.
of apples.
A bag of
Let me
apples,
see
yeah.
what was. It's a very nice animation film, like really cool.
Yeah.
Let me see how it's.
It's really
Actually, the first link on YouTube, bag of apples, Russian animation. 74.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Of course it
And
has.
there is a lot of good things in, well, everywhere.
Well, it's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious for you because you live in there. Or wait. I can't. I can't scroll this. Oh my god, of course. Sorry. I was a chat. Was my chat? No, I don't want to see my own record stream. I want to find chat. Stream manager.
Finnish cartoons were cool as far as I remember. Forgot the name. Moomins? Probably they're the one that comes to mind of Finnish characters, like abroad.
Mm-hmm. Божечки, у меня заглючил интерфейс. Interface glitched. I don't see buttons. I don't see goddamn buttons. And I can't scroll it. Нет, там просто интерфейс спрятался под один интерфейс, и его нельзя соскролить. Мне кажется, надо просто перезапустить его.
What is this even? Let me just see it in here.
tablet decide that I don't need stream buttons at all, and it scroll it completely. I mean, this buttons was closed this kind of buttons, and I have no ability to scroll it at all. And now I found out how to run away from this problem. Okay, let me get back to work. This is too much. Oh my god, what? Thank you! No, I definitely need to do something with this thing. I'm just always forgetting about this. Bad habit. Okay, I think I'm gonna move in to the fur. Just to do something else. And maybe some black. There is too much black here. Black is a very specific color. If you're taking it first, it will spoil your all entire color if you're mixing it with something else. Mm. Hmm. Complicated question. Um, for me, traditional art easier because I don't. Well, I've got pretty enough experience to make it. Um, I've got more control in traditional art, and in digital, I spend too much time to make the perfect line because I have undo and I have a couple of layers. I can correct it anytime, and I can zoom in, zoom out, almost um, бесконечно, unlimited,
Endlessly?
endlessly,
Well,
almost endlessly. And that's why for me digital is means it's on one hand it's about perfection, on the other hand it's about endless corrections and endlessly working on a detail nobody even noticed except some people who value it. And in traditional, well, you just cannot physically zoom in that much as you do in digital. Yeah, and you can't just undo it, you need to redraw it. I don't know, I actually don't have much. I can't say that one way is difficult, is more difficult than the other. It's just different feeling. And different possibilities. And different type of control, because in traditional you actually have much more control about, and I'm about touching your tools, your paper, your hand that control the tools. I can say that digital art just cannot copy it perfectly. It's always different, even in very costly solutions. And I think it's also about that in traditional art you not trying to do the same perfection as in digital. You just don't need that. I mean, you try and do your best, but it's not the goal. Your goal is making the piece, the whole piece, look good. So you're not focusing on only one detail of this piece that much. you're looking at the whole picture all the time. And of course, it's a different type of control, especially in how you're grabbing your tools. For example, I can use a brush like this, I can use it like this, I can even draw like this. It doesn't really matter. But when you use stylus, you're always grabbing it like a pen. Yeah, symmetry is a tough one in traditional. Actually, there is some variance how you can work with that and how you can cheat a little bit. Well, there is possibilities actually. You can use the mirror, you can use additional paper and transparent table, like transferring glass or something. So you can make a copy and make a copy on other paper and turn it. Draw the same but mirrored picture and use it as well. There is some things. Yes, you can make a photo as well. But I can show what I do when I need something like this.
I think I will need to make a little bit of noise. I've run out of tea.
Okay. I try to find. I just show you. I've got this table, light table. That's a good thing. Just show it how it works if you don't know about this thing. For example, I've got these trees and yeah, they're mirrored. And if I need, I did this in digital, but if I got only this tree or that tree, for example, I don't have this one, I can just do this. I can trace this part, then turn it, and then I'll be able to switch the papers and trace again, but from this side. And This is a cheap thing. They can, what you can do if you need a symmetry. Well, you can find this light box, not light box, light table for pretty cheap price. I've got this one for 30 euros, I guess. Yeah, 30 euros. But there is a more cheaper thing. You can use your window. And this how we work when we were students. So you actually don't need this fancy stuff to do your job. I just have it because I've got a bad thing. I can work at night, so I don't always have light behind the window. So, just your window, tape, and paper. That could be more than enough. I think I need to make the things a little bit darker. So they can move further. Because I want these branches be closer. And I definitely need to think something with this background. It's messy. And I don't want it to be messy. At least not this time. actually wonder if I can imitate the blur effect on frames like this, because if I did this in digital, I probably blur the foreground, but this time I didn't, because I do in traditional and I mostly not do this effect in traditional way. But I really wish test it one day. Maybe it will be successful, maybe not. But definitely I don't want to test it on a project like this. An illustration maybe, but not on a comic book. Not a comic book, comic book, but it's like a zine. Small, very small. Here, very messy. So I think I need to do it. Oops. I won't do the same mistake as always. I won't sponge it. And I definitely need to do something with this grass here. Add some contours, just a little bit maybe. And I want some water. Totally forgot about that. Sometimes you just need to drink. That's actually funny that I'm working with the gouache like it's watercolor. I mean, my palette is fully dried. But right now it's just like, it's okay. When I was studying in university, we used gouache from the bottles. Not these bottles, we've got other gouache. It was like this big bottle, and sometimes it was like this, much bigger. And unfortunately, right now, I just couldn't find something the same amount of pain in it. But on the other hand, this type of drawing from the watercolor palette, it's something. A bit quiet. Well, now I guess it's better. I'm a little bit tired, that's why I'm started to talk a little bit quieter. But right now I guess it's better. I make microphone louder. Thanks for telling, by the way. Sounds the same. And how about that?
Can you move it maybe a little bit closer?
Oh, I get it. Wait a sec. Does this better? I forgot in OBS that it's quiet there. It was a half of the volume. Oh, I'm glad. Too long. Okay, let's do the middle. Now, testing, testing, testing. How's now? Does this sounds better right now? Yahoo! Yay! Then I just let it be on this setting for the future. And I think I maybe need to make this up and put some grass up here also. So the spores would be separated. Camera, what happened to you for the moment? I need to use this yellow more often. I've got two yellows here. One of them is just yellow, and the other is more like lemon yellow. Well, it's called lemon yellow, so. And typically I use this one for most of my mixes, and I just struggle with doing some color like this ochre. And stupid of me, this yellow is much better for doing this color, and I just forgot about that. I need to remember how I can use these types of yellow for what purposes. Maybe I can just remove one of them. Because the lemon yellow here is don't have the light protection of the 3 stars. It's got only 2, and unfortunately I don't have any other option of this kind of yellow in these paintings. So maybe I can work more with this one. Most of the paintings I use they have got good light protection. Yes, sometimes I just forgetting things, you know. My memory is not a very good thing here. So, speaking about color theory, it's more about feeling in my case. And at the time when I'm using my brain, it's not as usable as it's supposed to be most of the time.
Well, I think you will just learn how paint behaves, and that's what you mostly need. I mean, you do adjust the colors in digital as well, right?
Yeah. Well, knowledge is it's very useful. It's necessary, of course. I'm not denying it. as I said, it's been a long time since I draw traditional way that much. So sometimes you need to refresh your memory and your skills as well. So it's not a big surprise that I've forgotten something, especially with this type of color. So I know exactly how to work with this color, with this yellow lemon. But this yellow is, for example, you've got completely different green from these two. This with this yellow with my ultramarine will give green like earth green, close to that. And this mix will give more like this green. And sometimes I'm not doing earth green that much, but mostly for that green I using special yellow. And I was so focusing on this one, so I just forgetting that I can use this yellow for someone else, for something else. Yes. For example, in a gouache, paint can be darker. Some colors becoming darker after they drying. But it depends on what kind of colors you've got. Not colors, paintings. Some firms, some companies do colors that changing color too much, and some of them changing just a little bit. These colors changing just a little bit, so I can control and understand how different the color will be. But it's something that coming with a skill. If you don't feel confident enough, you can do your own mixes of the color beforehand you starting work on something. So if it's complicated, you can use a bunch of colors, different colors, your own palette with enough painting in them for your illustration or any other artwork. Otherwise, you need to learn how to mix colors and feel how colors changing before and after drawing. It's not actually a big deal, it's something you learn. But yeah, it scares a little bit when you're not ready. Well, you can. Actually, he worked very smart, and he knew how to draw landscape pretty fast. But if you analyze his works, it was very, very smart step by step process. And he works a lot on making it. It's not just random splashes. And by the way, you can test your color before you putting it on a paper on your artwork. You can keep, for example, a piece of paper nearby and test the color on it before you work on a paper. It is one of the variant how you can test it before you actually use it. I'm not using this method for a long time just because I'm confident enough of what I'm doing. But actually it is variant. Mhm. Mhm. I really like how it's become more sharper and sharper. I worries about previous page actually. I'm thinking about that maybe I need to put some leaves here on the last frame just to make them looks a little bit more um, like piece of one work, but maybe I'm boring too much because actually I've got some things to do here. Thanks. Here's a lot of work still, but yeah. Looks like it's worth it. I like the feeling of the, you know, when you can touch your own work, keeping it in your hands. I like this feeling of the object. So definitely after I finish enough parts of my comic book, I think I need to, well, I mean the main book of mine. I need to print it just to feel that it is real. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really like this feeling of the monitor. I don't know how it calls. I feel like some kind of electricity, some very small of it, and I just feel it with my hand when I'm drawing on it. Uh, if we're speaking about drawing tablet, screen tablet, it's. And if we're speaking about how the work feeling on the monitor, well, every kind of person got their own monitor and it's with its own calibration. And well, one picture looks different in different monitors. And we're not touching mobile screens that actually have very high contrast settings that you cannot change most of the time. I don't know, it's just something not right for me. When I look at the paper, yeah, I know that the other people look at my work with their eyes, with their calibrated color senses. I know it, but at least I'm looking at my work with my eyes, and with that light, and I see how it looks. Just something different, more natural for me. Maybe I'm wrong in my point of view, but that's how it feels. Yeah. And when you're switching this mode off, it's like burning out your eyes. Especially if you're doing it at night in a bed, in the dark room. Another thing in what the difference here, it's also about the feeling of the paper. I just like to touching paper. And this time I use nice textured thick paper. Just very nice to touch. And I am a fan of the small different in textures. It's just something amazing for senses. So I really appreciate such a small things. Maybe it is another reason why I choose more traditional things here. By the way, with the gouache, there is another thing that you need to remember. Uh, the amount of water makes sense. Water is matter in gouache. As more you add water in gouache, then less opaque, непрозрачная. Opaque же?
Opaque, yes, opaque.
Less opaque it becomes. And this means that the color will change very much after drying. Also. And more water means that you will activate the layer before the layer below. I'm sorry. It's really not something. It's not something obvious actually, especially for the beginners. It's totally fine. Just remember that water matter, and try to learn how this colors acting with the water. You will learn, you will understand. Just give yourself time. He is working with the oil. And oil is not water soluble. Instead of water, for the oil, artist using spirit, I guess it's called. It's a special liquid. I don't remember if it's a title of or it's a type of liquid.
What is it?
Spirit. I guess it's just a title.
A type. It's type.
Type.
Spirits.
Well, yeah, they using special spirit for the artists, and it's selling in the art supply store also, near oil supplies. So I'm pretty sure Bob wouldn't mention it. Because when this video was recorded, it was when we just was born. It was a series of videos that latterly make endlessly streaming show. So Bob is no more with us actually. Very long time ago. but I didn't watch all of his streams, so I can't be sure on 100% of it. Maybe there was a record of him describing the difference between colors. Maybe type of colors. I don't really actually like what am I doing right now, but I think I can fix that. If I make the leaves behind darker, just a little bit darker, not that much. And glass here. And some yellow, I guess. And I guess maybe a little bit black, just a little. Make it more gray. First glare is the same color, but it's not. And now it just goes in the background as it's supposed to be. Okay, it's much better, I guess. And this a little bit darker also. Okay, I like it more now. At least this part is now this part getting forward and this become a background just as I planned. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll separate these parts as well. Sorry for crackings. But I just couldn't not doing that. This very itchy feeling. Mm-hmm. I think I need to add more white or yellow here. Just a little bit more. Well, actually, it's time is up for the stream. I think I'll do some touches here and stop with that. I didn't finish this page yet. There is enough work still to do, but at least I push this further. And actually it's much better than it was before I started. Yeah, thank you for coming. And thank you for chatting. Thanks.
See you.
Yeah. See ya and bye everyone. See you next time.